Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back again with Eldrazi ramp on the play for game 1. Hand is okay, allows us for a turn on turn 2, good against energy, play into the blind. Alternatively, we have a turn 3 Karn, so some good options. Will be a bit top deck dependent otherwise. We'll see what this looks like. Forest, Sprawl Red. Opponent's thinking there for a second. I wonder if they are playing something with Force. Blooded Strand. Possible. Godless Shrine, Shock for Thoughtseize. Yeah, the amount of blink decks has increased. I imagine they take Karn, but Return is actually probably the bigger threat here to their initial plan, trying to get Felia out, so I think Return is the correct choice. Okay, so they do take Return. That was correct. There's Chrysalis. We'll play Talisman. I'll play Cavernous Souls and pass. Draw. Contemplating whether or not to Ghost Quarter, but I don't think we will. I think that would be a mistake. And opponent's going to pass, holding up mana for Felia. We'll draw. Didn't mean to go to combat. Will that bite me in the butt? We'll see. I will. What would be the benefit of Karn? Probably not too much. So I think we just play Sanctum of Ugin. Hold up the Ghost Quarter in case it's relevant. And play Chris. They'll run out Felia next. Flooded Strand fetch for Felia. There is Felia. The good news is, if they do have the Overlord, they can't flicker the Overlord without giving up the Felia, which honestly is a fair thing, because they flicker the Overlord, they attack with Felia, we block the Felia, Overlord then grabs back Felia, so it's kind of a moot point. They whiff. Love to see that, though. Go to combat. Yeah, it really is pretty free between the synergy between Overlord and Felia, isn't it? We'll go to blocks. We block the Felia. Blessed Meadow. Felia returns it. And imagine they grab either the Felia, yeah. And draw. Another KGC. We'll name Eldrazi. Actually, let's take a look at sideboard real quick. So, what can I do? The problem is that most of our sideboard isn't going to be doing too much here. So here's what we're going to do. Nope, I need that one. Sack trigger. gonna be weird. Minus. Especially with that Witch Blast meta, if they find a Flicker Whisper in trouble. I'm gonna grab Conduit. You know, I never thought about it with Conduit. So there's two things about Conduit that are really interesting that I think about it. One, we can activate and play Ghost Quarter every turn, as well as Sanctum. We can just loop. That's actually really interesting. So like you can kill Karn now. That's fine. So now we can Ghost Quarter you twice a turn. Or I guess at least once a turn. Twice on the first time. So unless you have a Flicker Wisp here. If you have a Flicker Wisp, now would be a good time to play it. I wonder if maybe I should have held the Crucible for next turn. That way I could at least guarantee value. Because yeah, now they're looking for Flicker Wisp. Ugh, son of a... Yeah, they have to grab the Flicker Wisp. If they don't, then I'm just going to get ridiculous value out of this Crucible. They grab Trawler. Sure. Actually, reset blockers. Kind of fine losing KGC, because they think that I'm going to need it. So yeah, I'll lose KGC. They'll play the Trawler. Paying costs. Trawler hits my yard, that's fine. Draw. Utopia Sprawl. Well, I'm going to Ghost Quarter your Witch Blast Meadow. I'm going to play Ghost Quarter. I'm going to grab a Utopia Sprawl for green. I'm going to play KGC. I'm going to minus KGC. How does Soulish Jailer read again? Permanent cards and graveyards can't enter the battlefield, so no. I will not be grabbing Jailer right now. Local metal coating is not going to be good enough, but we can Tormod's Crypt. Cast Tormod's Crypt. Now we can play Tormod's Crypt every turn, theoretically. And then we're going to go to their draw. Actually, do I want to go to their draw? Yes, I will want to go to their draw. Go to their draw. Fatal Push, rude. And upkeep. Draw. Ghost Courtier, Godless Shrine. Yeah, in retrospect, maybe I wanted to do that on end step because now they can flash in Felia. Yeah. Yeah. Only downside there. I'm going to exile your yard and pass. So that way Overlord can't grab the Flicker Wisps in there. Paying costs for Emperor Bones. We'll take the Writhing Chris. Rude. Or the Ghost Quarter. Honestly, you might need to grab the Ghost Quarter. I grab the Chris. Rude. Karn down. And we'll take 5 down to 13. Yeah. Maybe this is where Bridge would be good. I never really gave too much thought about Crucible or Conduit of Worlds, but it's kind of interesting. Draw. Land. Ghost Quarter. Conduit, target, KGC. I do want to cast it. 1, 2, not even that. Yeah, I wonder if Bridge is correct. It's fascinating. 5, 8, 9, 10, 14, however. So we just lose regardless. Yeah. Unfortunately, that is the case. Get rid of their swamp. Okay. I'm kind of curious on something now. Conduit is kind of intriguing me in a lock. Like as another lock piece. I'm a little bit intrigued. I mean, Emperor should take Ghost Quarter at this point. We're likely to lose this against Blink. But I am thinking of putting a lock into our sideboard because Conduit plus Ghost Quarter is really interesting to me. It's basically a Wrenn and 6 in a sense, right? But not on a Planeswalker, instead an artifact, which is a bit more fragile, all things considered, right? But we mix that along with Bridge. It kind of intrigues me. We'll take 5, 8, 10, 12, we'll be at 1. If they attack all out at me and not anything at Karn. They have to attack Karn. They do not attack Karn, they attack all at me. They have Flicker, Overlord, grabs Ketra, I imagine. Yep, grabs Ketra. Be at 1. Because if we had Bridge right now... Fascinating. Prismatic ending, sure. Felia flickers. Bog. Doesn't do anything, and I can't do anything with KGC. This is fascinating, though. Huh. I'll concede. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'll concede. But this gives me an idea Like, I've been missing Bridge. I do feel like Bridge generally is a good card in the current meta, especially if Ketchel running around. The one card I'm generally thinking about cutting here might be that fourth return, which only comes in against energy right now, and replacing it with Bridge. Because if we do get Bridge on board, interesting. Very interesting. Because, yeah, we just play Karn, we minus for Crucible, we play Crucible. As long as it sticks around for a turn, then it gets a ton of value. We bring back Karn, we minus Karn, we grab Bridge. They kill Karn, we play Bridge, pass, right? Well, let's bring in Dismember, bring in Chris. Cut 2 Karn and a Gemstone since we'll be on the play. Like, maybe it's just too cute with Ghost Quarter and with Conduit, but I feel like it could genuinely be basically our version of the Boseiju loop with Ren and 6, right? Interesting thoughts. Very interesting thoughts. Not to mention its ability to synergize with Sanctum of Ugin. Sanctum of Ugin, 7 mana value spell, trigger Sanctum of Ugin, goes into graveyard, play Sanctum of Ugin, rinse repeat next turn. It intrigues me. I'll keep this hand. Draw. Fetch with Verdant Cat. For a forest. Utopia Sprawl on red. And pass. And pass. Initially, Conduit of Worlds was kind of just a bit of a joke, but now I'm kind of getting a bit intrigued by it. Shrine Shock for a Prismatic Ending or for a Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize. Probably takes the return. The Rumbles are a Thoughtseize proof. I guess one less return is not a bad thing. Depends on if they're trying to set up a Filia play. Okay, so it kind of tells me Filia might not be something they're trying to set up. I will Rumble. There's the Sowing Myco spawn. Temple, and then pass. And not much else to do, so we'll just pass. I guess in case of an Orcish Bowmaster, we'll hold up the delay to respond at the very least. This is going to be a turn 2 Myco spawn. Or turn 3 Myco spawn regardless. They need to interact with a spawn and my land, not just one or the other, which is relevant. Though I guess actually, if they have a... No, they can't Vindicate me. I was going to say if they can interact with the forest. Yes, that will resolve. I'll grab another forest. And draw. Another temple. Kicker. I think they have like 3 basics in their deck. To be fair, we have 3 basics in our deck, but it's good to know. I'll grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll grab another temple. And pass. What are we thinking here, opponent? Imagine attack and then Ethem me if I had to guess. Opponent's tinkin'. And they don't have the EFM. We can set up pretty well with the Devourer. They do leave up the 1 planes. And there's the thought of maybe just holding up the return. Especially if they leave up 2, which would suggest Ophelia, but they know about the return, so they're not going to just willingly play into it. White, black. Relic. They could just crack Relic. Not sure if that's the play, though. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Ketra is online. Why would you not attack? That's weird. You're a weird opponent. I'm going to attack. Blocks. I will cast Writhing Chris. So now we can block the White Orchid. Stomping Ground Shock, holding up the K return. So now if you play a land and a Ketra, that's fine. Marsh Flats. But I feel like you wouldn't have cracked the Relic if you were planning on playing Ketra. You'd want it for the value engine. Could be wrong though. Oh, a Shrine Shock down to 9. Lethal's on board, is it? Oh, there's the Ketra. So 2, 4. And we're short a little bit. Do I care if they flicker White Orchid? Probably not. We're going to attack regardless. They might have Solitude, so yeah, we'll just sit back. Another one. 2, 3, 4, 5. Once again, holding up the return. Devour, exile Ketra. Hold up the return. They don't know about the second one, of course. And we will attack in for 5. No reason to... Okay, opponent's gonna scoop. I'll take it. And I'll bring back in the gemstone, cut the Ghost Quarter. Run it back. Yeah, I do wonder, yeah, if we cut the return, bring in an Ensnaring Bridge. I'm tempted. Like, yeah, it's a 2, 3 card lock, but it's not hard to set up. This has to be mulligan. Unfortunate. One goes down to 6 as well. We can keep this. Dump a lab. Ideally, you find a 7-mana value spell off the top. Dump a lab. Done. And pass. Witch Blessed. Tapped. Draw. Lab is a bit of a gamble. So I think instead we go Temple or Rainforest. I think we go Rainforest and pass. Because next turn we'll be able to hold up the return. If we're on the play, I'd probably go Temple Lab, but we're not. Shock. Do you hold up to Baelmerk? Yes, go pause on end step. Finds Felia. Fetch with the Misty. for Commercial District. Surveil trigger. Writhing Chris on top. And do I need to hold up return? I don't think so. The main benefit of holding up the return would be if we need to interact with, let's say, White Orchid Phantom or Felia. Though I guess there's a world where they try and White Orchid Phantom and then Ephem maybe, but that'd be wicked aggressive. There's also no harm in holding it, so we'll go Devourer and then hold up the K return. Hold up the ability to respond. Next turn you can play the Writhing Chris. Okay, so I'm just gonna play the Felia then. That's what it seems like at least. So I, instead of playing the Writhing Chris, will just play Temple and then pass. Here comes Felia. There's a White Orchid Phantom. Yes. Interesting. ETB trigger. I will float 2. Yes. Forest. I could just K return right now, but I'm afraid of an Ephem. I mean, it's the same difference if I go command or not, isn't it? So I think we just go with the return. Because the alternative is that I try and exile Felia X2 K command. But yeah, I think we just return. Because the Ephem doesn't protect them from it. Paying cost, there's the Ephem. Again, doesn't protect it. Still hits the temple. Yes. Last forest. We'll be able to still play the command because Writhing Chris will generate colorless tokens. Forest. Here's Writhing Chris and pass. Alright, we'll see how this goes. A little bit concerned about that. Ephem rebound, nothing to rebound. We'll hold up the blade to respond. Unless they... No, they wouldn't be able to rebound around an evoke trigger. Not how that works. There's Relic. Relic target me. I'll grab the Misty. The actual lands engrave are relevant in the instance of a Conduit of Worlds, funny enough. Exile all. Draw a card. Marsh Flats. Relic. And passing. We will need to deal with you at some point. Sprawl. Utopia Sprawl for green. Red. Writhing Chris. So these Writhing Chris's will become rather big. I will attack with Writhing Chrysalis number 1. Right now we have a K command X equals 3 available to me, if needed. So we could, for example, exile Ketramos. Felliot into grave. Overlord of the Baelmerk will animate on end step. There's Ketra. Target player targeting self in response. Actually, I first have to fetch. Shock. And I guess they could do it regardless. Trigger 1. Trigger 2. Triggers 3. And number 4. And spawns exile. Do you have an EFEM? Damn. No, they don't. Okay. They'll draw 2 for what it's worth. And draw 3. Solitude. Evoke triggers. Draw 4. And Ketra down. So, like, why could they not have just tacked on a once per turn clause on that card? Makes 0 sense to me. Yeah. I need to top deck very well here. Otherwise we're SOL. Overlord of Baelmerk. Oof. Not what I wanted to see. Question of the day. Do I attack? Yeah, we'll attack. I can put you down to 2 theoretically, but I will not sack them. And no reason to play the Ugin's Lab in case it's relevant. We're down to 5, down to 4. Let me think an opponent. If you attack, you have to have a blocker. It's likely Overlord the Belmerk hits something. Goes to attacks. Will attack. There's a Ketramos, which is a problem. Yep, you don't get Ketra. If I had put them down to 2, they'd be at 1, and Ketra would be a huge liability. We need something to exile Ketra with. Witch Blessed. I would say no way you bolt that. Emperor Bones as backup. Draw. Man, cannot catch a break. Red and pass. Yeah, maybe I should have put him down to 2. At the same time, it'd mean that I wouldn't have any of the color sources that I have now, and I kind of need them. Even just being able to block the Ketra without them gaining life is relevant. Relic. They're playing a dangerous game here. Relic target me. Ketra draw. On the 3. Yeah, the Solitude. Vindicate. Yes. Emperor Bones. Grabs the Chris. Capture draw. And go to attacks. Trigger. Grabs a Solitude. Goes to blocks. In response, sack 1, sack 2, and resolve. Alright, end step, draw, rumble. Rumble. KGC. View sideboard. Like, yeah, we can grab Jailer, but so what? It's not like we're going to catch them off guard with Tormod's Crypt for Ketra. I mean, we could try. I'm just doubtful they'll make that mistake. Yeah, might as well try. KGC. Minus KGC. Tormod's Crypt. I guess I could grab Crucible. I don't know if that would have been good though. I would have had to sack the spawns. Yeah, we would have been dead. That's what we would have been. Grab Tormod's Crypt. Alright, opponent, be careful. Solitude. Exiles a spawn. Rude. Gonna have a way to do that on your turn? Ethem? Alright, opponent. All I need to do is just forget about the Tormod's Crypt. Exile something. I'm doubtful they'll be that dumb. It'd be really cute if they were. Come on, opponent, rebound. You know you wanna get value. You want that value. No? Damn. Adapt 2. Okay. There's Chris. Alright, opponent. Exile something with Emperor Bones. You got this. Yeah? Uh-huh. Aw. Well... That's unfortunate. Alright, opponent. Get something off an Overlord. Grab Solitude. Exile. Pass. Unfortunate. I needed just like a singular command or something. Well, it is what it is. We'll be back for match 2. Alright, and we're back for match 2 on the play for game 1. Let's take a look. I will keep this. Looks like it is going to be not a mirror match, I wish. I'd much rather take the mirror match over the control matchup, which is likely going to be Days Undoing. So I do need to be mindful of that. Means we'll tuck the World Breaker first, the Devourer second, reveal Devourer trigger. Cavern of Souls is a must here, so we'll take the Cavern, Ugin Lab, Imprint, pass. Pass. Island, pass. Ugin Lab, Imprint, and hold up the blade to respond. Now I could cast K command here and generate spawns. Probably going to be better as I don't need to use it as a permission spell. So I will actually do that. That resolves. I will... I think Lugan might not be bad. I'm going to bottom and top. Draw. Because now we should be able to play the Mycospawn without any issue unless they could do one thing, which is going to be Orange Champ. There's World Breaker. Eldrazi. Kick a Mycospawn. So this guarantees the resolution of sowing Mycospawn. And opponent's gonna scoop it up. Yep, so that was probably the best way to go about that. I will cut the returns. It does get a bit awkward, Because I'm not sure what else we want to bring in. Because, like, Chrysalis, yeah, sure. Jailer really doesn't do much. I guess we could keep Dismembers in, or maybe the Returns in. Unless they're playing the Isochron Scepter, the claims are kind of meh. We could bring in Chalice. Actually, Chalice is interesting for the Orange Chant. Could bring in the Conduit of Worlds. Otherwise, could also bring in Tormod's Crypt. Crypt is nice because then we could at least get rid of their cards that have been used up before the Day's Undoing. Chalice intrigues me, though. I think so too does the Conduit, but maybe the Crypt instead. Yeah, let's go do this. Unfortunately, this matchup is a bit awkward, at least when it comes to sideboarding. Because the returns really do nothing. They'll hit the Solitude, sure, but not the Subtlety. I guess it does hit Kahira. I will keep this. Keep, reveal, and pass. Trigger. Ghost Quarter. Yes, we need a land. Ugin Lab. Imprint Breaker. Attempt to resolve Talisman. And pass. Scouting Tarn, Meticulous Archive. And pass. Alright, they have a counter spell up. The question is whether or not they have a consign. Chrysalis. There's a counter spell. We still get the tokens, which is relevant. Might just be useful to try and cast KGC. Okay. Let's first attempt to cast Talisman of Impulse. Ghost Quarter. And see if KGC resolves. Imagine you have a counter spell for it. Consign resolves. And we'll pass. Windswept Teeth. A Wrath the Skies would be a bit unfortunate because they would be able to Wrath X2. So I do wonder if we should have... I mean, Devour would have been countered as well. So give and take, I suppose. Hallowed Fountain, Shock, and then Wrath. No, I'm just going to pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sanctum of Ugin. I will return Worldbreaker to hand. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sanctum trigger, Worldbreaker trigger, target the Hall's Storm Giant. Consign 3, Whirlwind of Denial. No, no, and no. Rip. Alright, we'll pass. 3, 4, 5, 6. Next turn we still have the Devourer. They know we have the Devourer, though, so it's unlikely they play into it. Never know, though. Hall for Narset. Otawara. Double blue. What do you find? Another Narset. Draw. K command. Shock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Triggers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes. I'm gonna go with a Soin Mycospawn. And pass. And pass. I want to get rid of that Hollow Storm Giants effectively. Narset -4. There's the Orange Chant. Unfortunate. The Orange Chant and kick it. Draw. Cannot cast anything. So I will pass. Narset minus. Finds. Tune. Plays Tune. Monumental. Let's use this as a permission spell. Does this resolve? It does resolve. Bottom, 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 top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And draw. Commercial District. I will attempt to resolve Malevolent Rumble. There's another World Breaker and Soin Mycospawn. I'll grab a World Breaker. Should have probably played this earlier, to be fair. Utopia Sprawl. Green. And I'm going to attempt to kick a Mycospawn here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually gonna get rid of the Henge. I'd rather you not find any Teferis, if possible. There's Consign, but only 2. Might have a Subtlety. Resolves. I'll play Commercial District. Command on top. Oh, okay, they let the exile resolve. I was really confused, like, where did my Myco spawn go? Attack the Narset. See if this resolves. Yeah, I didn't expect it to. Subtlety as a blocker? Interesting. Why didn't they just put the Myco spawn on top? Yep. No block. And pass. 2 cards in hand. Hopefully neither one of them are a Days Undoing. I'd like this Narset to go away. Opponent's casting something. Kahira to hand, plays Kahira as a blocker. Thankfully we can exile it. So I'm going to... I would like to create spawns. Yeah, I think we will create spawns. Exile Kahira, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. X equals 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And exile Hall of the Storm Giant. We'll then go to attacks and attack Narset. Do you have a Solitude? You do not. Okay. We might be getting somewhere. Passing it back to me. There's a Temple. I'll play Temple. Go to combat. Attack with all. Do you have a Solitude? You do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we can pick up a World Breaker. I will pick up World Breaker. Tap 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Sack the Ugin Lab. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll exile the Meticulous Archive. Alright. There's a Narset, Narset minus. And Narset finds Days Undoing. Thankfully, not as impactful as it could have been a moment ago. I'm going to attempt to attack all at Narset. Because even if I take control of their turn, it's still a bit of an issue. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Emrakul. Consign. So we take control of their turn. Spell Snare Days. Narset. Well, that's frustrating. Okay, well, here's what I can do at least. I will Ghost Quarter, Meticulous Archive. Yep. I'm gonna take a look at your deck. 2 islands, breeding pool, Orange Chance, Solitudes, Tef Hero, and Tef Raveler. Done. And I think we just passed then. I guess I should have held up one blocker, though I kind of couldn't if I was attacking Narset, so give and take, I suppose. So you can play the Narset, but then what? You have Narset, Days Undoing. I guess you could just play the Days Undoing, but then I get the first turn back, and I don't think you want that. So you play Narset. Yep. Narset minus for... So Days Undoing Spell Snare. Tune. Play Tune. Attack for 3. I'm going to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in Mycospawn, exiles the Mysticate, and then we're going to Bajuka Bog you. So all those cards in your yard. I guess a little bit too early. Did missequence that. I very much should have cast Mycospawn after I killed Narset. Down to 7. I don't think there's a way out of this. Most Days Undoing. And draw. I mean, I guess we can just start by attacking all in. Attack all. Block the Sowing Mycospawn, but that's lethal damage. You have a Solitude, you have a Solitude. Yes, that's fine. So I go up to 10, down to 4. Second main phase. Oh, I will Utopia Sprawl. For green, I will Rumble. Flooded Strand will resolve a Spell Snare. Yep. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. In that case, we'll kick a Mycospawn. Mycospawn, kick a Hollowed Fountain. You're running out of lands here, friend. And I will grab a Sanctum of Ugin on the off chance you have another Days Undoing. Sanctum of Ugin's Lab, rather. Subtlety. Why would you not Subtlety that when I had the search trigger on the stack? That's what I'm curious about. Top. Play KGC. Minus KGC. For Conduit of Worlds. Pass. And pass. Breeding Pool. Shock down to 1. Play a Teferi. Time Raveler? Even that won't do it though. We'll just plus stays and do it again. You have an Orm's Chant will cut it. GG's. I guess you could try and Solitude. But looks like opponent scoops it up. Yeah, we're just gonna plus Karn on Talisman. Alright, Solitude will win against Control. We'll be back for match 3. Alright, we're back for match 3 on the draw for game 1. It's slow. Like, what makes this hand better, right? Answer is not much, to be honest. I'm gonna mulligan this. This is better. I think we do dump the... do we dump the Emrakul? Or dump the Lab? I think we dump the Lab. And pass. So it looks like Oculus or Murktide. Shock. Utopia Sprawl. Does this resolve? Of course, gonna regret. Gonna regret getting the Lab now. Pass. Now I need another land. Which, I mean, we have a ton of hits off the top, but still. Froge. Froge, will it make my life difficult? Draw. Verdant Cat. Pass. Do we try to resolve the Mycospawn first, or the Chrysalis? The Chrysalis can block the Psychic Frog, obviously. No, I shouldn't pause to end step just on the off chance that they play a Harbinger. Yee. That's concerning, though. Do you have an Unearth? That'd be my only explanation to why I did that. Consider your options. Sewers. I might have to go Bajukabog. End step. Fetch. Commercial districts. Trigger. Chrysalis on top. Temple. Cast Sowing Mycospawn. Not kicked. Do you have a counterspell? If you have a Consign, that would truly suck. If you have a counterspell, you're gonna have to fetch with the Polluted Delta. You do not. So I'm gonna Bajukabog you. That resolves. We'll snap block. You know, I thought as they have a, or had a Oculus in hand. Blue Delta. Auto Grave tapped. Okay. And you float the frog. You will. We'll take the 2. No blocks. +1 and a 12. Thought Scour. Brazen Borrower. Interesting card to see there. Draw. Talisman of Impulse. It's tempting, don't get me wrong, but I think we do cast the Writhing Chrysalis. Resolve and resolve. I probably should have attacked with the Mycospawn. At the same time, if they don't float... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A second frog. Yikes. Do you float? Cling the dust. Less than ideal, but fine. The question is whether or not we will block with the Writhing Chris. I don't think we do is the problem. Because they can outgrow it by pitching 2. Yeah, I'll take it. I did want to block, but I think it's worth not. KGC. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, but no. One, 2. Triggers. Trigger 1, 2. Wait, Talisman. Does Talisman resolve? Talisman does resolve. So now I have access to return. Okay. Do they have a Fatal Push in hand? That's the question. Yeah, like I said, I should have attacked with the Microspawn earlier. 2. Free the Fae. Interesting. There's the push, but it's a bit late. Could grab Unearth, though. Grabs the Unearth. Alright. Cycles the Unearth, fine. So currently we have 6 7s on board, but they can grow one of those frogs up pretty big. Yes. Okay, I'll double block this all day. Could have a Fatal Push though. Shoot the Sheriff on 1. Yes, that is fine. Not ideal, but fine. And do we want to have a war? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I mean, if I sack 1, they pitch 1. They can grow it bigger than I can. But if they do that, then actually... I have an idea. Let's see if they fall for the bait. Yep, that'll resolve. Mine will resolve. That will resolve. Come on. You know you want to. Okay, one more. Do it, opponent. Pitch it. Yep, that's fine. You won the war, or you won the battle, but not the war, opponent. And I'll lose the mana, but that's fine. Draw. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can't do everything. Play KGC. Minus KGC. Yes. Did not realize my ringer was on. I guess we can just go Tormod's Crypt. Yeah, it seems right. Tormod's Crypt. Cast. We'll also add another type to yard. And opponent scoops it up. We'll take it. So this is Oculus. And goes sideboard. Cut 2 Karn and a Ghost Quarter for Dismember and Chrysalis. Run it back. On the draw for game 2, I will keep yeah, probably something like that. And reveal. And pass. Put a delta and pass. Trigger. Probably want to go for the second Myco spawn. Yeah. Draw. Sprawl. Red. Spell Pierce or Force? Neither. Perfect. Pass. A swamp. I go for a swamp. Okay, so here's what that tells me. Is that they have a Harbinger in hand that they're banking on. That is exactly what that tells me. I'll cast a Myco spawn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna play an Ugin Lab. I'm gonna imprint a Devourer. Oh, not yet. And I'm gonna play the Talisman of Impulse and pass. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need another one for 6. Whoa. No Harbinger? That's weird. That's really weird. Why would you fetch for basic then? Do you have a consign for 3? That seemed like such a... Like, the way they played that just seemed very much like it was going to be a Harbinger. Also, maybe I should have gone after the Swamp, in all honesty. In retrospect. But also, getting rid of double blue is good. So, Weird. Yes, you will triple consign. So, won't be able to do anything about that. We'll go to combat. And attack. And pass. Land and pass. Draw. Another Chris. I am going to cast Malevolent Rumble. I would like a Bajuka Bug. I will attempt to cast a Writhing Chrysalis. Counterspell or counterspell. Okay. I will attack with Soin Mycospawn. Fetch for Fatal Push. Shoot the sheriff. Unearth. Okay. You know I have a Bajuka Bog, right? I did not wait till end step. Bajuka Bog you. And pass. So if you have an Oculus, you can no longer play it. Yep, that resolves. Harbinger is fine. We have more than enough mana. So I'm not pressed in the slightest. I will... Let's see, we need green, red, so green, blue. Rumble. Oof. I guess we'll just grab a Misty. It is a fancy island. Play the fancy island. Chrysalis. And go to combat. Yeah, the Harbinger I feel like hurts them right now more than it hurts me. Again, I should hold up the ability to respond in case of an off chance of a Orcish Bowmaster. Though I don't think Oculus plays Orcish. Opponent goes, I'm cooked. GG's friend. Alright, solid 2-0 win against Oculus. We'll be back for match 4. Alright, and we're back for match 4 on the play for game 1. Let's take a look-see. We'll keep this. I'll talk to the Emrakul, reveal Devourer, trigger. Opponent's Tinkin. What you tinkin about opponent? Rumble or Myco? I'm gonna go Myco. And Imprint Emrakul pass. And hold up the ability to respond in case it's relevant. Polluted Delta. Pass. Could be Oculus again. Could be Murktide as well. Temple. And hold. Fetch. So it looks like it is. There is a thought to resolving K command before they play a land. I'm gonna K command. If they play the frog, then we can exile it. Spell Pierce, or does this resolve? Mandate Consign's an option too, I suppose. Sprawl bottom, force top, draw. In Eland. And pass, draw, commercial district. Forest. And kicker. Kick, targeting sewers. Imagine the body gets countered. 2, 4, 5, 6. So I'll probably just go with a gemstone. No, just a consider. Okay, surprising. Pest control. So it looks like this is the Esper version. Might have Catramos. Could go Sanctum. That's a thought as well, but I think resolving the body is important. We'll go Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi. This also allows us to cast Writhing Chrysalis next turn if we do draw into it. An Eland, and pass, draw, another Temple. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna go combat. Down to 16. I will play Devourer. Kind of want to see if they will attempt to counter the Devourer to get another card in yard. They do not. So I'm not sure if they can effectively get anything into yard worth of value, but we'll with Jukabog just in case. Alright, and pass 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I think we're in a good spot, all things considered. And opponent has conceded. And I do believe this is Oculus and not Murktide. So we'll plan for that accordingly. They both play pretty similar, so not all too much in the way of a difference. Cut 2 Karn and the Ghost Quarter. And run it back. And imagine opponent brings in, of course, the Harbingers as well as Consigns if they weren't already there. Alright, on the draw for 2. We can keep this. A little bit fragile, but we can make it work. Tempted to Wooded Foothills Commercial District out the gate. Reveal, pass. Because then we can play both sprawls regardless. Trigger. I would like this command, but we can't do much of it, so we're going to grab the temple. Draw. So it could go sprawl. Yeah, we're just going to go sprawl. Sprawl for red, that way if you draw into a Chrysalis we can play it. Unless you counter it, of course. Yeah, a Spell Pierce or a Force. Opponent's tanking. Let's resolve. Excuse me. Pass. Blue to Delta, fetch. Meticulous Archive, Surveil trigger, puts an Unearth into yard. Swamp. And Prismatic. Exercise. Rude. Does this resolve? Imagine they forced this one. They're thinking about it. I think they have a force. I don't know why, I just have a sneaking suspicion. Red, Foothills, pass. I would put a pause and end step, but then I would fear us running into a Harbinger. And I'd like to get my Surveil trigger if at all possible. Catrimos, yes, in response. Commercial districts, trigger. K-return into yard. Do we want to play temple? Yeah, we do. Do we? Yes. Play Writhing Chris. And pass. So next turn we will attempt to exile Ketramos. Tis a relic. A relic target me. I'll exile the foothills. Ketramos trigger. 5 in yard. Relic. Draw 2. Ketramos can now attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can't. The little block with the spawns. We'll just take the 4. That's fine. I'm okay with this. What we thinking, opponent? Do you attack or do you hold it back as a blocker? Attacking probably makes more sense since you'll gain 4 in comparison to the 2 that I'll deal. Yep. That makes sense to me, opponent. Down to 15. And second main phase, you got anything else? Yeah, Froge. Yes, Froge will resolve. Draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I will play a forest. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. I can count sometimes. And we'll hold up the 1 spawn. Be gone, Ketramos. You want to pitch some? I mean, pitching some cards and floating won't do anything. It's not your turn. So Ketramos gone. And Devour will resolve. And we will pass. No point in attacking. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll be short 3. Fetch. Down to 16. Sewers. Unearth. Push. Rude. Float the frog. Yes. So yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What else do you got? Prismatic. Again, rude. Yes. What else are you doing? Considering. I feel like you should have started off with a consider. Okay. Anything else, opponent? Going to combat. Just hit me for 1. Yup. Uh-huh. Second main. Relic. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yep. So we need to basically just hard cast this Emrakul. Stomping Grounds. Shock. Yeah, I think we set up our next draws. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Four. Do you have a force? You do not. Bottom. Bottom, top, and top. And go to combat. What really sucks now is if they play a Harbinger. Relic, yep. Probably should have played the Verdant Catacombs in retrospect. Fetched with that for another forest. That way you could have chosen and kept the 2 in yard. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What was that? Oh, exercise. Like, what just happened? 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. Would have been good. Alright. Red. Colorless. Green. Chris number 1. Chris number 1 resolves. Nope. Counterspell. No. Probably going to be a fatal push. Oh, counterspell. Rude. Fetch with Verdant Cat. For a forest. And Chris number 2. And pass. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 13. So we have Emrakul next turn. I feel like it's going to get countered though. So like, you take control of our opponent's turn, but then what? We can do some fun things, but we might just want to wait. See if we can get them to tap out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9, 13. Alright, 4 cards in hand. Draw. Go to combat. It's not lethal. Down to 8. Let's attempt to resolve Talisman of Impulse. Does this resolve? It do. Yeah, I think we just hold the Emrakul. I have no reason to play directly into a counterspell right now. Or in this case, a subtlety. Sure. Because at least now if we do get the trigger from Emrakul, we can at least attack subtlety into Chris. Unearth, cycle. And maybe they just tap out unknowingly. Tis a Froge. And combat. Hit me for 3. Down to 8. They have a counterspell, then we're kind of okay. If they have a consign, we'll be in a bit more of bad shape, he thinks. Ibajukabog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I should trigger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes. Oh, they're wrong? Did I miss 2? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 'Tis an Emmy. You have consign or counter. A counter I'm a bit more okay with. A consign would be pretty brutal. Rough. We tried. Majigabog, target you. And pass. And no attack. We'll just play on the defensive real quick. What we thinking, opponent? Opponent's thinking hard here. I mean, they can grow the frog, but not big enough to deal with the Chris. They can attack with both, but that's not probably the best option. I guess if they have a fatal push. White. Could be a Ketra. Could be an exercise. How many of those they're playing, though? I already saw, what, 1, 2? Prismat. Sacrifice it. Trigger. Okay. Oh, can't do anything else now. Smells like bait. I'll take it. Yeah, fatal push? Okay. I mean, it is what it is. Pass. And pass. We're gonna die to a frog. God dang. Pitch down to 6. Draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Trigger, target meticulous archive. Do you have a consign? No counterspell either. I'll play the lab. That way, if they do kill it through some means, then we can bring it back on end step. The frog, it grows. Okay, we just grown frogs. We're going to make an Oculus. Yes. Yeah, that resolves. There's a problem. Need something good off the top. We can pretty much play anything in our deck. Just need something. Not that. So we can block and then take 6 and lose. Yep. We'll concede. Rough. Yeah, sometimes just losing to the top deck does suck. I will cut the gemstone for the ghost quarters and run it back. On the play for game 3. I will keep. Definitely want to play Malevolent Rumble, though, depending, we might play the Forest or the Temple. Depends on if the Impulse gets countered. I mean, they'd have to force it, right? So I'm doubtful. But you never know. Won't be the first time my turn 1 Talisman's been forced. Reveal Devourer, trigger. Gonna grab the command. Imprint. cast and pass and pass. Opponent will pass. Opponent is tinkin'. What you tinkin' about, opponent? Fetch polluted delta for a Thoughtseize? Question mark. That could be what they're doing. What else would it be? I mean, they could consider. Why do that now and telegraph they don't have anything else? Weird. Hollowed Fountain. Prismatic ending doesn't... Oh, Relic. Okay, so you have to have a force then. So... Temple. Rumble. Rumble resolves. Rough. Talisman. Play Talisman and pass. I will get rid of a Ugin Lab and hold the ability to respond. Shock Watery Grave for a Froge. No, no Froge. Not surprising if that's the case. Relic target me. Get rid of Forest. There's a non-zero chance we play Conduit of Worlds and Bajuka Bog them. Relic Rack? No, Froge. 2, 3, 4, 5. A Soul Land does get me the Devourer. KGC. Forest. Command. X equals what? And at least 2. Do I want to go up to 3? Yeah, why not? Goodbye, Froge. We could play the Karn, we're just gonna hold. Relic, target me. Easy to get a card into... See? Actually. Rumble. There's a world where we do play Conduit of Worlds. Relic, Rude. Target me. K command. I think we just sit back on the Devourer. Play Goose Quarter. Attempt to resolve KGC. Does KGC resolve? Counterspell, unfortunate, and pass. Well, we're going to be hard casting Everpool again. Cracks Relic. Could have started that. Could have kept the Relic up. Draw. Tis a Verldbreaker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cancel, shock. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold up the Devourer. I'm gonna get rid of the white source so they can't play Ketra. What were you thinking, your opponent? Cuts out your double blue. Cuts out white. Counterspell's fine. I will return Devourer to hand. And then 1, 2, 3. Return Breaker to hand. And pass. No relic value for you. Relic hits lab. Sure, sure. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thoughtseize. Fatal Push. Relic. Okay. They're a bit desperate. Looking for a land, I imagine? Yeah, that's exactly what they're looking for. World Breaker. 4, 5, 5, 6, 7. Do you have a consign to deal with the trigger at least? Yep. I'll take the body. That is fine. Any reason why I'd be concerned with you having double black? I don't think so. Let's pass. Hold up the blade to respond. Considering your options, as one should, finds a flooded strand for Hollowed Fountain. Shock. Rude. Yep, that will resolve. Verdant Cat. Four, 5, 6, 7. At the same time, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna hold on to the Devourer, but what I will do is this. I don't think you play a basic Plains. Let's put that challenge to a test, shall we? Or a hypothesis to a test. Yeah, I didn't think so. Make a shock. And looks like we're going to end step. I want to fetch Verdant Cat for a commercial district. Trigger. Rumble top. I will rumble. An Emrakul or a Cavern of Souls? Well, both of those are nice, is the problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think I grab the Sowing Mycospawn, actually. Kick with the Sowing Mycospawn. 2, 3, 4. Do you have a consign? Hit the Watery Grave. Fatal Push. I'll grab a Sanctum of Ugin. That way I can feel a bit safer about casting this Devourer. Fatal Push. Yep. And pass. I'm going to take this Archive. That will, in fact, resolve. I mean, I just think sitting back on this Devour is correct. Another one. They won't know that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gives me a 5. Triggers. Okay. And yes. I think we go for a World Breaker. Because that has recursion. Harder for them to really deal with effectively. So in their mind, they might be like, oh, cool, they don't have a Devourer now. Maybe they'll play Ketra or Oculus. Not sure if you saw Murktide. I doubt Murktide made the cut with Ketra coming in. That'd be my thought, at least. Okay. Draw. I should attack first. Let's go to combat. That way, in case they subtlety, they don't have a blocker. Right? The 4 is a World Breaker. I'm gonna get rid of the Meticulous Archive. There's a subtlety. I had a sneak and suspicion on top. And pass. I mean, you can't attack. Consider their options. Go to combat. No attacks. Do I dismember? No real reason to do so. We're gonna sit back. Oh, no reason for me not to. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Get rid of the Watery Grave. Do you have a Consign? You have an Unearth. Not really the same. Do you have a Force? You do not. And opponent scoops it up. Opponent scoops it up. We got there. Alright. Solid match. We'll be back for match 5. Alright, and we're back for match 5 on the play for game 1. Yes, we will keep. I feel like I've played against Greenplay before. I feel like at this point with the amount I play, I've probably played against everyone who plays Modern on Moto. On green, pass, and pass. Bloodstained Mire, pass, KGC, Temple, and Writhing Chris. Resolves. Fetch. Watery Grave. Is it Oculus again? Fatal Push? That's fine. You play a Froge? You do not. Play Ugin Lab. No imprint. Attempt to resolve. Talisman of Impulse. Spell Snare resolves. We could attempt to resolve KGC. I'm gonna hold though. Thought Scour resolves. Nothing of import in there. They do play an Oculus, we can exile it on the spot. Do I hold or not? We get absolutely blown out by a force is the problem. I think I will go for it though. No, I mean we're playing directly into a counter spell. Yeah, I'll go for it. At the same time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they're more impactful plays here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. I'll pass and hold. Next end step, we'll at least go for an X3. Bowmaster. In response. Sack. I could see if they have a force. But we need to play around a Spell Pierce. At the same time, it would end up costing us 1 token. That's fine. It's more like an X2 though. We've already shown our hand, might as well send it. Fetches. Do they have a main deck consign? Or are they going to go consider? Spell Pierce. There's a reason why we held up 2. So in Microspawn, so bottom. Let's go top and top. Trigger, target me or target spawn. Target spawn, sack. And pass. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So Soul Land does get us there. I think we top the whatchamacallit? Stomping Grounds. Froge. Here goes the combat. Swings for 1. I'll take. And passes. Passes? No? Okay. Oh, they do pass. Draw. Shock. Kick a Microspawn. Kick a Watery Grave. And we're gonna grab a Bajuka Bog. Okay, so they have a force. not a force, a fatal push. So on one hand, I kind of want a Bajuka Bug. On the other hand, I kind of want to just Cavernous Souls to ensure Emrakul resolves, which I think might be more impactful. Because 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, we'll go Cavernous Souls. Name Eldrazi. Megaspawn will die to a Fatal Push. Snapcast for a Fatal Push. Snapcaster. Don't see that every day. Definitely something to pay attention to. Yep, that resolves. I'll take the 3. Ifroj. They have to know something big is coming. 1 card left. Draw. Utopia Sprawl. Not gonna risk it. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. Not gonna risk it. Been there, done that. Not happening again. Tis an Emrakul. Opponent scoops it up. Opponent scoops it up. So it definitely feels like Oculus. Somehow I've gotten 3 Oculus in a row. Though the Snapcast kind of feels more Murktide-y. So could be just normal Murktide. And we'll cut the Ghost Quarter. Alright, could be the final game of today. Yeah, this really does reestablish to me that like the control matchup is where this deck feels most at home. Like it's just very easy to roll over the control matchup from my experience. Opponent's going to bring in more Consigns, more Harbingers, the norm. On the draw for game 2. Yeah, we can keep this. Not my favorite because we do miss out. Or if they have a Harbinger, we're going to get a bit roughed up. But we can make it work. They're down to 5 especially. I mean, if we can resolve the Sprawl into a Soul Land for Chrysalis or a Command, we're in a good spot. Just noticed I have like a pit in one of my fingernails. Nothing significant, but must have bumped into something. Pass. Bloodstainmire. Fetch. 4. Watergrave. Shock. Or Thoughtseize. Spellbomb. Okay. Wouldn't be the first time I hardcast Emrakul. Rumble. Draw Rumble, Stomping Grounds, Shock, Utopia Sprawl. I'm doubtful they forced this for green. And pass. I'd love a land off the top. Ideally a forest. Forest or fetch. I mean, forest, fetch, soul land. All good options here. Ifroj? Ifroj. I ideally want a soul land. Beggars can't be choosers. Rumble. Jukabog. Windswept Teeth. Windswept Teeth. Fetch. For a forest. Utopia Sprawl for red. And pass. If they don't float the frog, we snap block. Do you float the frog? Harbinger. Yeah, I was a bit afraid of that. Okay, we no longer snap block. I cannot. Nope. So we'll play the Chrysalis, and that'll be a decent blocker for next turn. Glad we found that forest. A lab. Yeah, I'll play the lab. Our fancy island. Chrysalis. And resolves. I'll pass. The Froge cannot outgrow the Chrysalis at this point. If you have a Fatal Push, you can Spellbomb me the push. That might be exactly what they do if they don't... Okay, they draw the card, so never mind. Never mind. Well, I guess now they can outgrow the Chrysalis. No. It'll be even? Yeah, it'll be even. But I don't think I even do that, honestly. Combat. Like, if they attack, we'll block, but I don't think we'll compete. Sowing Mycospawn. I'm going to cast a Sowing Mycospawn. No kick, though. We're gonna make sure we hold on to these Eldrazi spawns. Just want to grow my board state and hopefully eat some consigns. Had a feeling. Need to be a bit conservative with these spawns, lest we end up with a few dead cards in hand. And pass. And pass. Okay. I'm gonna play a Oculus. Well, if you do that, that guarantees I can resolve my Devourer. I'm kind of okay with this. Oh, no, never mind. You have one floating? Not a fan of that. Manifest Dread. How do you want to play this? Gemstone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Interesting. Consign would suck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I should really go trigger 1. Trigger 2. Attempt to get rid of the Oculus. That resolved without issue. Interesting. I think we can probably K-return next turn. Unless there's some reason for me not to expend the spawn. Draw. Emrakul. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably want to do it on their upkeep. So I will attack with the Devourer. Apply a bit of pressure while we can. You want to block the manifest creature? You do not. Down to 7. Go to upkeep. Ifroj. Go to upkeep. Trigger. Resolve. Return. Pass. Pitch Murktide. Frog. And Harbinger down. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can X equals... I guess I should hold up the ability to respond. Okay. Another Emrakul. Well, right now we have lethal on board in more ways than they probably realize. If they don't block the Writhing Chris, we win, but I'm just going to scoop it up. And we got there. Good stuff. To a win against Oculus for a 4-1 record at the end of today's league. Good stuff. All right. Well, as far as general notes are concerned, trying to think. Trying to remember the blank matchup. It's so long ago. I feel like I can barely remember the last game, let alone like the first match. Like overall, we played pretty solidly. I think our main loss to Oculus, if I remember correctly, was just came down to variance. We played very patient with our commands, with our removal, which I think is starting to become more and more necessary at the Devourers. I think just trying to cast them into open boards is just wrong. It's better for us to just hold them and, you know, force our opponents to do the same. So overall, solid stuff. Deck still feels really good. Tomorrow I'm going to be tweaking the list again. Not sure in what direction. I have a few things I want to test. The Urgast version is kind of getting shelved. The more that I've talked to people with it about it, the more I'm kind of meh on it. I like Urgast a lot, and it's one of the cards I do want to retest again. Thinking of cutting to World Breakers maybe for 2 Urgast. Potentially cutting 2 World Breakers for 2 Allah's Dust. That's a thought as well. Maybe cutting a K return. As I kind of mentioned earlier today, also maybe cutting a K return from the side. Really cheeky but kind of stupid lock of the Crucible is possible with Bridge and so on. There's also discussions about like retesting the teamer list with Null Drifter. So there's a lot of testing and figuring out going on. Because like if I were to retest Null Drifter, what would I do? I would probably bring Consign into the side for 1. So we could consign the Vogue trigger, which is always cute. We would need Breeding Pool, of course. Hedge Maze, Talismans of Curiosity and whatnot. You cut the Chrysalis. But would you cut the World Breaker? Probably not. And that'd push us up, what, 3 more 7-mana value spells? I guess we could cut 1 for another KGC main. Yeah, there's a lot to consider. There is a lot to consider. But either ways, I'll give some thought tonight, probably sometime tomorrow, and I'll come up with an updated list based on the data. But we'll see about that tomorrow. As always, folks, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please do consider hitting the like button. Comment down below if you did see any mistakes that I made, any lines that I missed, or just some general feedback. It is always welcome. For as much as I hope that you all learn from me in both my successes and my failures, I hope to learn from you all as well. And last but not least, if you aren't already subscribed and have reached this point in the video, it'd be much appreciated if you do consider subscribing. We're getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers. With that said, folks, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.